So what I've done is created a blank graph again. You'll notice that the values that were in the previous one are now gone. I do that by clicking on the top left here. It says open graph. When I click on there, it says new blank graph, and it becomes a new blank graph. Okay, so I can undo that if also I do it by accident, but I gotta do it quick because otherwise that comes off. And so now we have a new blank graph that we're going to use. We're going to take a look at inequalities. So remember the greater than or less than signs. And so how do inequalities work with our graphs? So first one we'll type in, we'll do this one in graphic form. We'll do y is less than, and I'm going to type in the less than sign. It is the right beside your M. You have to do shift and then that button right beside M on your keyboard. So y is less than 2x plus 3. Now you'll notice here on the graph, it comes in, it's shaded in exactly the way that we would shade it in when we draw out the graphs, or when you did draw out the graphs in the previous lesson. You'll still notice there are our x and y intercepts that we have, and we can draw in there, and it has the shaded region. Now it's a bit tough to see because I'm in projector mode, so I'm going to turn off projector mode here, but you'll notice that this is a dashed line. Okay, so because it's an inequality and it's not equal to, it is a dashed line. Now we can do make an equation as well, and so I'm going to do a bit of a different one here, but I'll do y is greater than, and now if I want to do greater than or equal to, I do the greater than symbol, and then I type in equal to right afterwards, and you'll notice that the line pops up there on the bottom. And so we do y is greater than or equal to, and now let's do a fraction. So a fraction, what we'll do is we'll type in the first one, so I'll do 4, and then I'll do a slash, okay, and so that is like the question mark right beside your shift on your right-hand side. So 4 over 5, and now I have to go to the side to get out of the fraction, x minus, and I'll do another fraction actually, 2/3. Okay, so now our y-intercept is actually at negative 2/3, and there's our x-intercept. You'll notice that when we have it greater than or equal to, we have a solid line that is a part of that. Okay. So dashed line means that it's not equal to, it means that it's just either less than or greater than, and a solid line means that it is equal to, and you'll notice that little equal to sign on there. If you also realize you did it wrong, go back here and just hit backspace, and it's gone, hit equals, and it comes back. It's one way to just quickly adjust those there. Now, if we have two different inequalities, and we want to find where do they meet, which we will be doing a little bit later on. This is just kind of a little bit of practice for later on. And if we click on this one, you'll notice that the red here is just the top one. The blue here is just the bottom one. And this purple region right here is the area that they are both in. So this would be our solution set right here. And again, we're going to go through that in a little bit later lesson. But this is our solution set right here. It's the area in between the two lines. It's the area that is shaded by both of the lines. Or sorry, by both of the expressions, or both of the inequalities. Now, this is a point where they meet. It's not a point that's a part of both, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's a point where they meet. We have our x and y intercepts that we can find as well. If we just go and click on here, we can get those intercepts, and we can find those numbers really simply. These intercepts, find those ones really simply. Where they meet is another point, and we can find all those values quite simply if we go through that process. So the area that they meet is these two. If we want to add another one, I'm going to just add y is less than 4. Okay. Now I've added a green one. So there's areas where 2 of them are, but the only area where 3 of them are is the area in between those 3 points. Okay, so that kind of triangle right there. And again, we're going to go through a little later on the importance of that and how to find those values.